the show about maybe a year and a half ago, and just a great stand-up. So, as a matter of fact, he was voted stand-up comic of the year. He just won that award. So.
Amazing.
Yeah. Doesn't it seem like there's like 15 of those guys?
I just think we've had like 18 of them. Seriously.
Yeah, it's like if I say Robert Schimmel, what year did you win stand-up comic of the year? Then 99. And if, I get the feeling if I talked to Caroline Ray and asked her what year she won, she'd say 99 too.
Right.
And if I stopped Geechee Guy, he'd tell you.
Caroline, how come we haven't seen her in 10 months?
I saw her. I started to do stand-up at our some Upfront Comedy Central thing about 4 weeks ago. Yeah, she's fine. Still in one piece.
All right, good.
Troy?
Yeah.
You're 16.
Yeah, I'd just like to say something real quick. Adam, you're like my hero in every way.
Really?
Oh, Troy, you're only 16.
Like, so much.
There's still so much life ahead for you.
Tell me why I'm your hero, Troy, and take your time.
Number one, like, my dad's a construction worker, so I'm in that business, you know?
Right.
And it's just cool, you know? You're ex-construction worker who made big time, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. See?
That's the rules, man. I agree with you on so much stuff, too.
Gives the kids something to dream about.
But he gives, he disparages all construction workers.
No, I don't.
Yes, he does.
It's an honest living. I wouldn't want to marry one of those guys, but it's a good way to make a living.
If somebody is one of these framing guys or a...
Salt of the earth.
The guys that hang the
I don't trust the sheetrockers or the tin knockers.
Okay.
You know that.
Right.
Or the foundation guys.
Right.
Yeah, my dad's not either one of those.
Framing is all right, and finish is a good man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a framer.
Okay, he's all right. So he gets drunk and beats the wife once in a while.
No, he doesn't. No, he actually owns his construction.
Oh, okay, but he's a framer. All the framers I knew. Does he know your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
The kid.
The kid. Because all the framers I ever worked with referred to their children as the kid. Oh, the old lady and the kid. All right, anyway there, Troy, what's going on?
Yeah, like, when I'm, like, getting laid or, like, I'm, like, masturbating, like, my my right nut goes, like, up into my pelvic area.
After you ejaculate.
No, like, while I'm doing it.
How about when you ejaculate? What happens then?
It just stays up there for a while, and then when I like go soft again, it just goes back down.
That's right.
Yeah. Cremasteric response.
Yeah, it gets a little more pronounced in and around ejaculation, so it's normal.
Why is that?
There's a track there where your testes actually descend down from your back,
right,
and plop down into the scrotum.
Right. When you're an infant?
Yeah. And
how old?
Well, they start as a fetus, way up high, and they sort of make their way down.
Yeah, but when are they into the sack?
I can never remember. It's young. And
I mean, is it 2 years old or is it 2 months old?
It's...
Didn't you check your kids?
You know, look, I was just thinking tonight how little I know about pediatrics. I'm just thinking that. I do all this general medicine. I don't do any pediatrics. So
okay, so anyway, the nut ball comes from the top of the tree down
from where you would grow ovaries.
Right.
We all start out as female.
Right.
And our testes descend down, and they pull some abdomen with it as they go, basically. Mm-hmm. And if that track is left behind, it opens back up, and things can...
But why during the orgasm does it...
That's when the cremasteric response is intense.
Okay. Yeah, I know from watching enough porn that I can see that sort of movement every once in a while.
What do you watch?
I don't know. What do you mean, what do I watch?
It's like
once in a while, the guys...
It's like some sort of medical study.
I'll tell you, they shave and it's well lit, Drew. You could learn something. Mike?
Yeah.
You're 17.
Hey, do you guys remember me at all? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, who am I then, Adam?
I don't know. He's some idiot named Mike.
Well, this is not my problem tonight, but I was the guy who called about my stepmom.
Oh, she was coming on to you?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You called a couple of times.
Yeah, I called like 3 times.
This is with your dad that beat you up after you told... Yes.
Right. All right, let me give a quick recap here.
Okay.
And don't stop me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But Mike, how could we have identified you when you just say hi? Do you remember me?
You saying do you remember me? Yeah, doesn't work. But stepmom,
it's kind of amazing that we do remember him in reality. I mean, come on.
Here's what happened. Mike was lying on his bed one night. His stepmom came in thinking he was asleep, started rubbing on him. He basically woke up, rolled over. She scampered out of the room. He went and told his dad, "Hey, listen, my stepmom's, your wife's coming after me." Dad didn't believe him, called him a liar, so on and so forth. Beat him up a little bit. Then later on,
she did it
again, and this time Dad caught him, and this time Dad threw stepmom out. And then, does that bring us up to present day?
Mike?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so now what?
Well, Dad threw her out, and still haven't seen her since. They talk occasionally. She supposed to come over tomorrow night, but they're not seeing each other. My dad filed for a divorce and everything like that.
Okay.
So me and my dad are fine, and everything's fine. So first off, I'd like to thank you guys for inspiring me to talk to my dad about this.
Good.
Second of all, you guys have been talking about the morning after pill a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. I listen to you guys every night, and I found out through you guys, and me and my girlfriend had sex about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and the condom broke. Well, so the first thing I thought of was a morning after pill.
How'd you get it?
Well, we went to her doctor.
Great.
And asked her doctor for it, and he wasn't sure if he was supposed to do it, but he did finally, say, okay, well...
Now, why wasn't... tell me what his reservation was.
Well, we're in Newark, California, so...
How old's your girlfriend?
Newark, California?
Yeah, near San Francisco, near Oakland.
How old is your girlfriend?
She's 18.
I mean, what would his reservation be? What was he... I want to know what would make a doctor even take a beat.
Well, Mike, you don't know, right?
No.
And how do you know how much he balked at it initially?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, did he prescribe the Preven?
Yes, he did.
Packet, okay.
Yes.
All right, well, congratulations, that's good.
Yeah.
Next time, use a condom more properly.
All right, then listen, don't chew on Mike. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy, I agree.
And okay, I don't want to get preachy. It's just
About what? Morning after pill again?
I'm just, I'm glad that we're talking about it, and I'm sad that this is the only place people can hear it.
Who were we talking about the other night? We had what the woman who was in here last night?
Oh, that was Paula Tricky.
Never heard of it.
She read something about it a couple of years ago in a magazine. Well, what do you mean? Well, she's married. Okay, relax over there, Drew. She's on Pacific Blue. What do you? She's on the President's Council for Pediatric Health or something. She's on a goddamn USA show. Rides a bike, plays a cop. By the book, by the way. Doesn't play by her own rules. Michelle?
Yes?
Michelle, you're 19.
Question about tuberculosis.
What's going on?
I have a really bad self-esteem problem.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, basically, last Friday, I was over at my boyfriend's house spending the night, and he was out helping his friends move. And I found some pornos that he told me he got rid of. I'm very uncomfortable with him watching them or doing anything else with them.
Is it merely your discomfort with this area that makes you feel like you have a self-esteem problem?
Yeah.
That's not a self-esteem problem. You may just not like your boyfriend doing that.
No, she has other issues.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have other issues, too, because he sits there and says he has no sex drive, but yet he watch pornos.
How long have you been with him?
It'll be 3 years.
3 years. How old is he?
25.
Hold on, let's do some quick math.
Well, she was 16 when they started.
You're 19.
He was 22.
22 and 16?
Well, I was just about to turn 17.
Okay, well, that's totally
All right,
different
he was
then.
about to turn
Yeah.
27.
Yeah. You live with him now?
No.
And how long has the sex drive been turned off with him?
Since the beginning. I mean, I lost my virginity to him.
Right.
And about a year after the relationship, I cheated on him.
Yeah.
And I told him, he knows. And then just last January, I didn't sexually cheat on him. I mean, I had taken some pornographic pictures with some friends who kind of just really weren't friends and completely manipulated me. And
All right, hold on a second. I'm ready to do some gambling.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of chaos
Oh, yeah,
here.
that's a bizarre story.
All right, so it's high time we got back to gambling on this show. It's high time we prioritized, Drew. I think I may have taken a buck from you last time we got these wallets out.
Yeah, I haven't been doing that well lately.
All right. We got it. Well, you know why? You're getting rusty. We're not doing it enough. I feel like we're letting down our listeners and our family and our God. Do we have the same God, Drew?
Yeah,
I think we do.
somehow we do.
All right, you want me to go first?
I don't get a clue.
You're not getting a strong vibe? Michelle, let's see, did some pornographic pictures, a little chaotic.
Okay, all right, I'm going.
Yet was a virgin until almost 17.
Yeah.
With a guy who's a little bit of a loser, doesn't make her feel good about herself.
He's much older.
I'm going to go with,
Okay.
I'm going with overweight. Is a younger person.
She took pornographic pictures.
Shed the weight. She had to wait, but still has a little bit of that
All right.
that issue.
Well, give me a parental
And
read.
Dad around. I mean, they may have been divorced, but later on in life.
Okay.
They're not really present, working
All right.
too much,
All
not
right.
interested.
Okay.
Didn't say too many nice things to her. Okay, that's mine.
I'm going lots of siblings, nutty mom, alcoholic dad,
Nice.
some weird touchy something.
Some touchy
yeah,
neighbor, maybe?
Even one of the siblings or something.
Ooh,
Dr.
nice.
Drew's right.
No,
We don't know that
We'll
yet.
see. We don't know that.
Please.
This is a reach.
Mike gets happy with that button. He's all keyed up, though, ready to go. Michelle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drew's way closer than you are, Adam.
Dr. Drew's right.
All right, all right.
Well, he's not directly right. Okay.
How many brothers and sisters?
I have one older brother from my first dad. My parents split up when I was 2. When I was 6, my mother remarried. I have a stepdad. From them, there's 2 other kids.
Oh, one of the kids got hold of you.
No, my real dad.
Real dad.
I would go visit him during summer, and he would fondle me, and that's about it. But then my older brother, he, as kids, he had an anger problem that he inherited from my dad, and
Inherited
he
now.
would beat the crap out of me and tell me how ugly I was and what a loser I was, and so that really, I think,
Awful.
dropped it. And
Never have any weight
The-
problems?
no, I mean, right after high school, I gained a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to say I have some stretch marks from, from when I did rapidly, but it's not like,
Wait,
Yeah.
you were going to tell us there's even more after your brother beat you up. You said and.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, but
No,
I
that's
mean,
it.
I have stretch marks and things. I don't
No.
feel like I'm the greatest looking person.
No.
People tell me I could be a model and stuff, but I don't
Yeah.
see it.
All right, now there's your esteem problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or
And
people tell me I'm good looking. I
Michelle,
have a
you're
nice
also
body and
you're also kind of smart, aren't you? But you
think
don't.
so?
But you didn't do much at school.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not very
I
much.
was the same way, except for I was stupid and didn't do much at school.
Adam was more of an idiot savant. I mean, he had very special talents, magical
Yes, I-
talents.
You know, it's too bad that goddamn Rain Man came out 10 years after I graduated high school, because I really wish that savant thing was floating around. Something I could have, like a life raft in a storm.
Yes, you could have grabbed onto that.
Now everyone who gets under C grades, savant.
They're special.
Savant.
Special.
I was just stupid. Hey, dickhead, you're stupid. I wasn't any of that. Well, he doesn't excel academically, but he's still gifted.
All right, Michelle.
That's
but
what I wanted.
You can understand where your esteem can be. I mean, how could you even have a sense of yourself when you have a dad who leaves and then sexually abuses you, and brothers that beat you up, and chaos in your heart? Was your mom kind of goofy?
No, my mom is actually the greatest person in the world.
no.
Drew just
Yeah.
lost 50 cents.
But she isn't though, because she
How
brought
can
that
she?
stepdad in, and
Well,
she
no,
had the.
I mean, she thought there was a problem with me because when I would come home and stuff, I was really good in school until my visits with him started becoming regular, like longer,
Yeah.
With Dad,
and that would be right after. Was I think 4th or 5th grade.
All right. All
My
right.
brother and I used to go to visit him together.
All right.
Where's your dad now?
Hell if I know. He's
Cop.
an electrician.
Electrician.
At school, at an elementary school.
Oh.
Oh. You got to tell somebody that school, Michelle.
My mom. I
right.
just told her this past year. She knows everything now.
All right. Well, she's got to tell somebody. All right. Listen. So there's a whole ton of stuff here, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
All right. So it's not just about looking at porn. It's about how you feel about yourself. And God knows what kind of choice you make in your partners. I worry about the guy that was 24 or 24 when she was 16
Yeah.
and doesn't have any sex drive, and who knows what his deal is going to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't know what the question is, but forget about the porn. The guy, get away from the guy. I don't trust him.
Well, but what's she going to do? She's going to find another one just like it.
Don't do anything. Sit around. Just don't date. Get a little therapy. Oh my God. I mean, if your dad is feeling you up, how can you ever be right? You know what I mean? Can you ever be
Well,
fully
that's my
right?
point. Maybe this is the least of all potential mates for her.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Well, stay with him and like yourself
But just
better.
just be very careful with your choices and look honestly at who this guy is. Hey, this airplane crash freak you out at all?
No.
We fly so much now. Think about that.
Well-
and think about those thunderstorms we've been in through in those damn plot planes.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the whole while while you were looking at the paper, the picture of what's his name who died in a plane crash.
I got to tell this story again,
It's
Drew.
a very funny story.
I really do. And I got to say this, too. I was just looking at a travel itinerary. I'm going to Chicago in a week and a half, and I was looking at the thing going, MD-80. I don't like that plane. And that was the one that skidded off the runway today. But anyway, okay. Drew, you forced me to tell the question, tell the story again.
About a year ago.
How'd it go? A year ago, maybe a little more. Drew and I were in, we were trying to get to
Alabama.
Alabama.
From Iowa, I think, or Illinois or something.
To Alabama. Yeah. We had to fly into St. Louis, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We flew a little charter plane into St. Louis, and then we had to fly an even smaller charter plane from St. Louis to Alabama, as I call it.
Birmingham.
Isn't that in Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Drew.
But this was the plane that where the engine wouldn't start. Remember this whole story?
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. We were doing a college lecture in Birmingham, and we were supposed to be on the stage about 8 o'clock at night. We were going to leave St. Louis about 3 in the afternoon. It was going to be, a 2-hour flight or whatever it was, and we're going to make it there in plenty of time for the gig. Well, the problem was there was a lot of thunderstorms and hailstorms and really bad weather that was blowing into where I remember watching the Doppler radar thing on the news the night before. Was all this horrible weather was blowing into Alabama that evening. But the plan was we were going to get on this plane at 3 in the afternoon. We're going to land in Birmingham about 5 in the afternoon, and we were going to miss the storm, which was going to blow in at like 6:30. Well, the problem was there were some delays when we were in St. Louis. First, there was a little delay like getting onto the plane or something. And then once we got onto the plane, and this is a little twin-engine.
20, not even 20 seats, 15-seater?
15, 18-seater propeller plane.
Can't stand up in it.
Oh.
Not even close.
Barely late. You have to grease yourself to get into this plane.
And you'll appreciate this story. Come on.
And we're sitting in the plane, and they fired up one of the 2 engines, and smoke came billowing from the engine, just a huge plumes of black smoke. And they stopped the engine, and they shut the engine down. And they came on board, and they said, we're going to have some guys take a look at this engine. And also, the plane is overweight. Too many husky folks in it.
In the front.
Too much luggage. Let's take one of the big guys and move him to the back of the plane. I don't like planes that are so small that they're like a rowboat, where you got to put the husky guy in the back, put the skinny guy in the front.
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like it when the pilot's taking his lunch pail and sliding to the back of the plane because of because he's got a little extra ham on his sandwich, and the weight differential is going to screw things up. But they put the big guy in the back of the plane, and then they say somebody's taking a piece of luggage off this plane too because it's too heavy.
We pulled like straws or something. Remember that?
Yeah,
we drew lots to see what luggage we get left behind.
We're like 35 pounds above the max, so we're going to have to toss off 36 pounds worth of luggage. And to me, that's just one piece of Samsonite. We're still at the max. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get us under the max by much. It's just when they're filling out the FAA report, the airline doesn't get into trouble. So they yank a piece of luggage off the thing. They shift the husky guy to the back, and they say, we're going to try out this engine again. I mean, we're sitting on the runway for an hour now, and they fire up that engine again, and big plume of smoke comes out of it again, and they shut it down again. And meanwhile, the clouds are starting to move in.
Here was what I thought was the comedy.
It's getting a little bit dark.
They started and stopped the engine not less than 45 times.
Oh, no.
No, wait. 30 and 30 times.
They kept starting and stopping, and each time a big plume would come out.
And all of a sudden, Adam turns to me and goes, Drew, I'm not much of a mechanic, but I don't know any mechanical problem that's solved by starting and stopping an engine.
No, and especially when big plumes of black smoke are coming out of it. I mean, it's not like, just a turn of a screwdriver is going to fix this one. It's not the cowling on the outside's a little bit loose or something. That's an internal problem when you're billowing out smoke. It has to do with the cylinders and the heads and the chambers and the valves. It's an internal problem. So they crank it up again, and another big plume comes out, and it's basically thunderstorms and hailstorms are starting to form over Alabama now, and we're leaving 2 hours late, and the pilot's telling us he thinks if he can fly, if he can maneuver around these storms, it may take us a little longer, but he thinks we might be able to work our way around this thing.
Between these cumulus clouds.
Right. So the engine fires up, the big plume comes out of it once again, but this time we're going for it. Even though there's been nothing that was done to the engine, we're going for it. So we start to go for it, and I'm sweating like a mother, and I'm thinking, we got a storm, we got the plume, we got the engine, we got the husky guy in the back, we've thrown off a piece of Samsonite, and just then, as I'm in my own sort of private hell, I look over the shoulder of a woman who is reading a USA Today, and in that USA Today, she's reading the right side of the page, but on the left side that's hanging out into the aisle because the plane is so small, it's only about 4 feet wide, there's a huge picture of ex-pirate great Roberto Clemente. And the great one, all-star,
cut out in his prime,
countryman, cut down in his prime. And I know how Roberto Clemente died. He died in a plane crash. And I was staring at a huge picture of Roberto Clemente as we were limping our way onto the runway. And I was thinking to myself, I'm not a religious man, but I understand how the Lord works, and this is as much as he gives you. The Lord does not grab you and toss you out of aircraft. Right. The Lord lays down 3 or 4 things, and then if you don't pick it up, he's taking you. You know what I mean? Right. And the Roberto Clemente thing to me was, this is the Lord. This is the Lord telling you right now. And no one else in the plane was paying attention to it, and no one else knew it, and there's never been a Roberto Clemente story, to the best of my knowledge. You don't see huge pictures.
It was a full-page story about him, yeah.
Full-page ad.
Yeah.
It was put on by, USA or HBO or somebody did a Roberto Clemente story, and it was a full-page ad of Roberto Clemente, and I was staring at Roberto, and he winked at me. He winked. No, he didn't wink. I just sat there.
You think Adam talks a lot now? You've never heard him talk so much as that night. All the way to the other. And I really didn't
You didn't see the Roberto Clemente thing, and I didn't tell you because I didn't want to.
You finally did. You go, Roberto Clemente.
No.
You see that? Who that is?
Not when we were on the ground, because I didn't want to freak you out.
No, it was much later when we were rocking and rolling through those storms, which then I started freaking out.
But I thought that was a message, that Roberto Clemente thing. What do you say, Mike? Okay, we'll move on. We got to go commercial? Fantastic. All right, there's a Roberto Clemente story. Robert Schimmel, the world's greatest stand-up comedian, will be in here in about half hour or so. We'll talk to him. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
Loveline's phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. Loveline. With Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. We'll be right back. 92.1 KFMA.
Hey there. Hi there. Ho there. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. And here comes Drew now. Robert Schimmel, the stand-up comedian of the year, will be in here coming up soon. He's on his way back from the Brea Improv. He'll be in here. I guess he was in here about a year and a half ago. Real funny guy. He was talking about his kids. Remember he lost a child? Do you remember that, Drew?
Mm-mm.
Yeah? Yeah, you don't listen. No, he had a child who died of cancer, disease or something, maybe 2 or 3 years old, but he just had another child. Yeah. He had a couple other kids.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
You remember that? Drew, you usually get into that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why I don't remember.
He had a heart attack? Oh, he did? When did he have a heart attack?
All right, we'll hear.
Oh, I got to listen to the new CD. Do you have the new CD, Mike?
Lisa.
Where'd you get that?
Lisa.
Ann? Oh, okay.
Lisa.
Lisa?
I'm right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm at work. I had you guys on hold. Anyways, my question was pertaining to something called alum that my girlfriend told me about. And it's something that you can't buy, you can buy over the counter. And it's supposed to make your vagina become, it's supposed to make it tighter.
Lisa, how old are you?
24.
It makes your vagina tighter?
Yes.
The hell difference that make? You're 24.
What's it called?
Alum. It's like a drying agent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what's it used for?
What's alum used for?
Yeah, what's its purpose?
Oh, well, there are many things that require drying agents. For instance, when I was telling you about Bondo, paint, there's drying agents in everything. Anything that dries potentially has a drying agent in it. But any
Lisa,
chemical or any compound.
What is up with you that you would think that would be an important thing?
Well, because sometimes, when I'm, like, with someone else, it just becomes, like, so, like, I don't know if it's loose or what, or if I can't feel it, or, if I have no sensation. I don't know what's up with that.
Well,
it's just...
Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah, no, not right now.
Have you ever had one?
Yeah. I was married for a couple of years,
And what was he like?
he was fine. He was pretty good, and
No, but as a person, as a relationship.
Excuse me?
How was the relationship?
Oh well, I have a daughter from him now,
Lisa,
and
how was he as a person? How was the
you're
relationship?
a little
he was
easy.
an a-hole.
He was an a-hole.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
why
bad.
do you choose to be with a-holes?
Because I had the normal, like, traumatic childhood. My dad was like a wife beater, and
Okay, Lisa, by
Yes.
definition, traumatic is not normal, okay? By definition. Even if everybody has one, as we learned on this show, it's not normal, okay? So it sounds like you're just disconnected from any feelings, and the part of your disconnect is a somatic disconnect. You don't have a feeling in your...
What do you mean disconnected? Like, when I'm in a relationship, it's like, I try to, like, get to know the person, and
Yeah, but you pick assholes.
Speaking of the asshole, now there's an orifice that's tight.
All right, but it's not...
You don't need no alum for that.
But this again, it's a bizarre preoccupation to think that you need that kind of mechanical problem for satisfaction.
Oh,
that
listen.
is bizarre.
Hey,
right, because you know what? Because when I'm intimate with someone,
Yeah, but you're not intimate with anybody. That's the problem here. You're
Well,
having sex with people, but
right.
you're not intimate with anyone.
your vagina's not hooked up.
That's right. It's disconnected.
All you
It's
can
unplugged.
do is pee out of it,
Okay, another thing.
and unfortunately give birth.
Now that you mentioned pee.
Hey, listen.
Yes,
Oh, wait a minute. How many kids do you have?
just one.
Okay. Are you taking? Is it a girl?
Yes.
Oh, good. She'll be a dancer, not a murderer.
No.
Good. Thank God.
I'm a responsible mom. I
I know.
Like,
You got a dog. What job do you have?
during the day, I work at a special ed school,
Mm-hmm.
and at night I work at an office. That's where I'm at now.
Oh, okay. What do you do at an office in the middle of the night?
Data entry.
And, but how can you be a responsible mom if you're never home?
Because I am, like, right after I get off my part-time job in the morning, I run to her school and, like, stay there. They let me, like, do, like, supervise, like, the kids
All
in
right,
the yard.
listen,
and like,
she's doing what she can. She's
Yeah.
trying to,
All right.
trying to make
All right.
ends meet. Leave her alone.
right.
Listen,
Hello?
Lisa.
Till I find a good man.
Lisa, listen to me. You're not going to find a good man. You got to find a good therapist, then you can find a good man.
I can't afford one.
Well, hold on. Let me say this one. You can't afford not
Not to me.
to have one, man. Listen. Your dad
No,
was.
I need a therapist.
Listen, screwball. I'll tell you why. Because you're out of it. You're completely detached. Your dad was an abuser.
Right.
You hooked up with an abuser, and you're going to hook up with another abuser. And
Okay,
your vagina's not hooked up. Because you're out of it.
How can I avoid these, like, type of men, like,
Don't
without
go.
therapy? Without therapy.
Okay. All right.
Don't go out with guys you're attracted to.
If you're attracted to him, he's
Don't
bad.
trust it. Don't
That's
trust
all you
it.
need to know.
Go with the guy that's boring. Boring, but nice enough physically that you can tolerate him.
Look at it this way. I've used this analogy before, but I think it's going to work. You're like someone with horrible taste. And you know how you know a few people with horrible taste? And they tell you, oh, I picked out a sweater for you to wear. And you think to yourself, I don't even have to see the sweater. I know it's god-awful. It's like, I know it's like some guy ate a pallet of paint and then vomited on the front of it. You know when your grandmother or your or some aunt or something who had horrible taste would send you? I had friends who'd get like a shirt, at Christmas time.
It would smell like mothballs.
Aunt Connie from Florida or Philadelphia would send them out a shirt, and they didn't have to open the box to know how horrible it was going to be. You know why? Because Aunt Connie had horrible taste, and she would never disappoint. It's not a coincidence. It's not like, well, this year I got a good one, and then the next year I didn't, but the year after that I got one. No, they always sucked. Because if she liked them, they sucked. You see what I'm saying here, Joe?
Yeah, I got it.
Poor friends, they get these shirts like made out of velour that look like the Partridge Family bus, and it just big collars and just he couldn't wear it.
This is 1987, right?
Yeah, but each year they got the same horrible sweater, shirt, or pants, shirt ensemble or whatever that their grandma gave them because they have bad taste. And the same thing with Lisa. She will pick a guy, and the guy will be abusive. It's no coincidence. Michelle,
Yeah.
you're 19.
I just first want to say that I totally and completely love you, Adam. You're just the man.
Oh, what is this we got going on tonight?
Well, it's been like 2 and 2 months.
All these
And we're really on a
young
roll.
people. It's just,
Well, I've been trying to get through to you guys for months now, and I've just been waiting to tell you how much I love you, Adam.
Yeah.
Michelle,
Well,
it gives me a chill when people say
Go into
stuff like
some
that.
detail. What is it that you love most about me?
I love your wit. I love your analogies, and the way you like your sense of humor. I don't know, just a lot just a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. And is that enough for you? I mean, if you're a woman, you don't need anything else, right?
Thank goodness.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right, but my looks, they wouldn't be a deal breaker, would they?
You look kind of like my uncle.
Yeah, I know. See, I know if I keep digging, it's going to form a grave.
Yeah.
I think I'm
But
digging
I still love you, Adam. I really, really do.
Oh, I love that part. In spite of that.
in spite of the problem, the physicality
She could
problem.
overlook it. She could deal with it.
Put the lights out or something.
Hey, hold on. I got to talk to, I swear, I got to talk to Drew.
Oh.
And I'm not an unattractive guy, am I? I mean, there's nothing wrong with me, is there? I mean, I'm 6'2", I'm 185 pounds. I don't have any major scarring or
You're
anything.
actually pretty good looking.
I'm like, for radio, I'm all right.
Yeah.
For radio, please.
Oh, for radio.
Yeah, come on, you're way above
for
average.
TV.
Yeah, I mean, why does it seem like a stumbling block? I mean, I can understand.
Stern but groovy master.
I can understand it not being the reason they're into me, but does it have to be a hindrance? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe
I mean,
it's the personality.
yeah, but the personality is what they're attracted to. And
No,
then
they're into the
looks come
humor.
in.
They're into the skill with the humor.
Okay, but
Maybe it's the personality that comes through with the appearance that they can't quite deal with.
No, you see, every time we talk to one of these young nutballs, they're into the sense of humor, they like the attitude and everything, but then when the looks come in, they're like, well, we'll keep the light off, or I guess I can just keep you locked up in the closet.
Hey,
Or,
Adam, plenty of girls call up and say you're cute.
all right, Anne's right. I just wanted her to say that, that's all. All right. Michelle?
Adam, it's not that you're not unattractive. It's just that it's kind of spooky that you look like my uncle.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not that you're not
that's all that
unattractive.
that's all that it is that you really, really look like my uncle.
All right, Michelle, you got a question.
Okay, I have a question about Depo-Provera.
Yes.
See, I don't want to get pregnant because I'm not ready to have a child yet.
Good.
And
You're attracted to Adam. That should be a threshold question. Are you ready to be a parent?
Should be on all college entry
Yeah,
exams.
I
so.
can barely support myself. I can't support a baby right now.
All right, and?
And I want to know, I'm manic depressive, and I heard that getting the Depo-Provera shot can, one of the side effects can be depression,
Absolutely. But, of course, it can be from any contraception, any hormonal contraception, right?
including birth control pills?
Yeah, it can be. But my experience has been it's been a little more prominent with the Depo-Provera. Now, what medication are you on for stabilizing your mood?
Prozac.
Just Prozac?
Yes.
Not likely you're going to sort of fall out of bed from a Depo-Provera shot because of the Prozac. On the other hand, if the Depo-Provera does cause you problems, it's going to be problems for the entirety of that 3 months. So it might be better for you to be on just the regular pill.
So once you get that shot of the Depo, you ain't getting it out of your system.
3 months.
Whereas the pill, if you start freaking out in the first 2 weeks, you just stop taking it, right?
That's correct.
All right, that's good thinking there, Drew. I know we got to go to break. Let's see. When we come back, Sarah, who's just 13, she slept with friend's boyfriend before they got together, but friend won't speak to her.
13.
Let's hear what Sarah sounds like.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Hi.
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 Is that true?
Yeah.
How old was the guy?
He's 14.
14. Son of a bitch. What grade are you in?
I'm going to be a freshman.
She's in 8th grade.
You're going to be a freshman. Oh, okay. Yeah. Freshman, 9th grade.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hang on, Sarah.
Okay.
How many guys you had sex with?
One.
Just this guy?
Yeah.
Did he break your heart?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's not take any more. Hang on there, Sarah. We'll take a little break. Come back. Get to the bottom of that.
You have 5 seconds.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
2.
Back in a minute.
1.
92.1 KFMA.
All right. Nay, it's the Loveline. Drew, pleased with the outside conversations and outside reading materials. And those are my boys. Those are the cornholes, right?
Cornhole.
Hey, if any of you kids ever want to question whether I'm down with the homies or not, look at the corn CD. I'm thanked. You understand that? They didn't thank
spiritual leader.
They didn't thank Wolfman Jack or Rick Dees. Yeah, that's good.
Go!
Man, they rock.
You never listened to Corn before?
We got to get Corn on. These guys know how to rock.
I know. What's up with them?
What's up with her? You want me to call them?
Play out.
We haven't heard Dickie.
Yeah,
in Boston.
Yeah, I
No,
did.
We want corn.
We want Corn. Dickie called me 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He was at the HF Festival, I think, with the Pie Taste. But Ann actually aren't the Boss Tones playing with Smash Mouth or Sugar Ray like in July or something at the Irvine, whatever? Okay, we can work that out. Sarah?
Yeah.
So you're 13.
Yeah.
You slept with your girlfriend's boyfriend, but before they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, like a week before.
A week before.
Yeah.
And now your girlfriend's pissed off.
Yeah.
How did she find out about it?
Okay, well, it happened like 2 months ago. And then, like, I heard they slept together, and she didn't know about us. And then I told her, like, 2 nights ago, because I felt like I just wanted to get it off my chest.
Uh-huh.
And now she's like still talking to him, but she won't speak to me at all.
All right.
She won't answer email or anything.
That's fine.
She'll get over it.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, you kind of got... Well, let's examine this for a second.
Yeah.
Sarah sleeps with a guy. Guy breaks her heart.
Yeah.
Moves on to her best friend.
Yeah.
Sleeps with the best friend. And now it becomes important that Sarah let her know that she slept with him too. You know, because she want to get it off her chest.
Or
she wanted to kind
drive
of
a wedge between those
tweak her a little bit.
Yeah.
No, because, like, I like, never talk to him anymore. I hate him.
Yeah, but the point is you hate, you have feelings.
Yeah.
Hate's a pretty strong feeling, too. Sarah, here's what I'm saying. Whether you were conscious of it or not,
the choice
to tell your friend, you had to know in the back of your mind somewhere what her reaction was going to be.
No, because, like one night I asked her what she would do if I ever did that, and she said that she would, like, be mad at him and she would still talk to me. And then,
well, then she forced you to tell her what's going on.
No, but Sarah, the point is think about it, really. Did you really have to... You hate him.
What did that accomplish?
It was 2 months ago.
What did that accomplish?
Why do you have to get it off your chest with her?
well, because, like, one day she asked me if I was a virgin, and I said no, and she just kept pressuring me to tell her who it was, and so then one night I was like, I don't know, I was kind of like high or something.
Sarah?
Yeah.
But you, Sarah, just please admit you kind of wanted her to know, and it wasn't all for good reasons.
Really? What did you need to get it off your chest for?
Because I felt really bad.
You felt bad?
Yeah.
So you felt bad, so
Why?
you had to make her feel bad too?
You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, and she didn't know anything about it.
Well,
let's say she got a really bad haircut. Would you feel that you should tell her?
Have to get it off your chest?
no,
Why not?
because
Hey, Sarah, just please admit there was a part of you that wanted to tell her because you knew it was going to hurt her a little bit.
I guess, but, like, I wanted to tell her, like, right after it happened because, like, she knew that I liked him and stuff, and that we were going to hook up, me and him, but then she asked him out.
Oh.
That's Sarah.
Sarah's payback time.
That's the point.
She asked him out. You were interested in him. She swooped you a little bit.
And he left you to go out with her.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's time to pay her back, right?
Got to get it off my chest.
Now you got it off your chest and onto hers, and you paid her back, and she's pissed off,
yeah.
and that's how it works.
Yeah, but then why is she still talking to him? He lied to her, too.
Well, women, God bless them, they're dumb that way. And she has a love or emotional relationship with him that sort of transcends friend relationships. And that's the way it goes when you're a kid and you got a lot of energy. And hell, when you're an adult, too. Whenever there's sex involved or chemistry involved, that just takes first priority. That's just it.
Yeah,
So-
women rarely blame the guy for the behaviors that the men initiate.
God bless
It's always
them.
the other women that are at fault.
God bless them.
Unless you date Adam.
Then I get it.
Yeah.
I get kicked in the nuts with 2 feet. Each wearing a different pump. All right, so Sarah,
Yeah.
you got what you wanted. You pissed her off. You paid her back. And now she ain't talking to you.
And by the way, you shouldn't consider that assertive. That's just sort of intrusive and
All right, but let me just
leveling
wrap up
somebody.
with Sarah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Fine.
Okay.
That's all right. That's what you wanted. That's what you got.
And I predict the girlfriend will get over it, too.
She'll get over it. Just give her a few months. She'll be back. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
But people think about the reality of the feelings and the behaviors you're manifesting and the people you're involved with. Just stay in reality. That's all you got to do. Yeah. Is take responsibility for everything that happens to you and assess reality on reality's terms. That's life.
I have not, in the 26 years I've been doing this show, Drew, I have not spoken to someone who told somebody the truth for what I would consider commendable reasons.
Right.
For the truth's sake. There's an agenda. Most of the time.
Unless they're in some sort of program that's demanding complete honesty and they process it with other people first.
We don't talk to the point.
No.
You mean the folks at West Point who call in the show on a regular basis? Please, Drew, use your head. Amy.
Yes?
It's great about the truth, though. It's like it goes from I have to get it off my chest to I liked him and she asked him out.
Yeah.
And then she slept with him.
Yeah.
So that's where I had to get it off my chest. That's where that goes from.
Amy.
And 13-year-olds don't get stuff off their chest. Except for a training bra.
Amy.
Hello?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Okay, I was calling because the other night, I was having sex with my boyfriend, condom broke, blah, blah, blah. And the next day I called my doctor to see about the morning after pill.
Right.
And they asked me what pharmacy I go to, and I go to Walmart pharmacy.
Uh-oh.
And I called it in, and I totally forgot. And I was like, I always listen to your show, and then I remembered after I called it in. And I called the doctor back, and she was busy, so her aide took down, we'll call it into another pharmacy or whatever. But I called Walmart, and they said that my prescription was ready. And so I was thinking, oh, well, maybe it's some other Walmart, not my Walmart. So I went there, and there was all these old people in there, so I didn't look in the bag right away when I was in line. So I
Got a hemorrhoid cream.
I paid for it, and I took it out. And what they gave me was just regular birth control pills.
The entire packet?
Yeah, it's called Overall.
Yeah, okay. Well,
And the directions said take 2 now and then take 2 in 12 hours, and that it would be, I was assuming that it's the same thing.
that is the same thing.
So it's not, okay, so
That
it's...
is a diabolical way for the doctor to get around the pharmacy's
But I
lameness.
just, also, I wanted you to know that, Walmart is still, even though they say that they're not doing that.
And it also amplifies how effing lame those pharmacy groups are.
Yes.
They won't stock prevent.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. But they will issue overall with instructions for it to be taken in the manner that the morning after pill is taken.
Yeah.
That is so lame.
All right, but understand, Drew, when you're religious and when you're sort of righteous enough to form these groups and stuff, it's not really based in anything other than the complaint mode. It's all about working away. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you're deeply religious or you're deeply righteous or moral or whatever it is, you have to pick and weave your way. You have to read in between the lines. You have to make your way. You have to navigate your way through this world. Because you still got to get laid every once in a while. You still got to booze it up every once in a while. You still got to cheat the IRS every once in a while. You still got to screw around on your wife every once in a while. You still got to hit a strip club every once in a while. So how are you going to do all that and keep this? Well, don't worry. There's technicalities, and we'll just negotiate. We'll weave our way around. That's how they do it. You understand that? Well, let me say something real fast. Oh, for Christ's sake, gotta go break. Listen, it's time for people who get laid and who aren't religious to start boycotting places too. And if places like Walmart aren't keeping up with what you feel is satisfactory service and they're not providing the products that you need, boycott them. Why can't atheists boycott on occasion? Don't go. Nobody go to Walmart. If you're any kind of fan of Loveline at all, you'll not shop at Walmart. And that's not just for your pharmaceuticals. That's for everything. That's what they understand. They understand it when it comes from the other side. Why don't they understand it when it comes from the pot smokers? Don't go to Walmart. All right, there you go. I'm organizing a boycott. We'll be back.
Loveline. Be right back in a minute.
On 92.1 KFMA.
Nate, the Loveline. We're going to take ourselves a little 10-second timeout. We'll be back with more of the show in just 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on radio station.
The new rock. Drink 92.1 KFMA. Green Valley, Tucson.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Stand-up comedian Robert Schimmel should be in here any moment now. He's Comedian of the Year. It's on the show about a year and change ago.
Stand-up Comedian of the Year?
I just put stand-up in there. Oh, yeah, it is. Voted stand-up comic of the year. And he'll be in here real soon. He's down at the Brea Improv 2nd through Sunday, June 6th, which is this Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I guess he's finishing up his set, and he should be out here. 8:30. Oh, wait a minute. He's got a 10:30 set? Oh, that's Friday. Okay, he'll be out here. Where the hell are we here, Drew? Probably. I'm sure he's having a good time getting from Brea to here.
In the rain.
Oh, yeah. Alicia?
Yeah.
You're 21?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I have a baby that's a year old, and I'm engaged. We've been together for 2 years and 4 months. He's 28, I'm 21, and he smokes pot. And I'm not quite sure if he's doing crank still, but when I got together with him, we were both doing it quite often. And I'm not into that anymore. I'm out of the drinking and I'm out of the drugs, and I just want to know your guys' opinion. Somebody who's not related to me or him, because I don't have a lot of friends here. I just moved to the area I'm living at, and I don't really have a lot of people who are objective. And I just wanted to find out your opinion on, should I stay with a drug addict and alcoholic, or should...
Well, undoubtedly you had parents who had this disease, right?
Yeah.
And you have this disease, it sounds like.
Excuse me?
It sounds like you have sort of incipient phases of this disease yourself.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You have the beginning manifestations of addiction yourself.
Yes, and I've gotten help with it. I got in some trouble when I was pregnant, and I didn't know I was pregnant, and we had a fight at our house, and I got arrested. And
you got arrested?
I got arrested.
Why'd you get arrested?
Because I hit him. And there were scratches on him.
You should have more kids.
I should have more kids, yeah, so I can be for the rest
that would
of my
kind
life.
of cure. How old is your kid now?
He's almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
And does your boyfriend work around metal?
Actually, yes, he does.
Uh-oh. What's he do?
He drives, what is it called? It's some kind of big tractor thing. He works at a toxic waste site. And he uses saws and stuff to cut metal.
He grows to abnormal proportions, too.
And stuff, and he's had accidents with metal and stuff like that.
All right. I wish you luck.
This guy sounds like a real dirtbag.
Are you in recovery?
Yeah, I had to go to AA for mandatory for a year, and I went to domestic violence classes, which was a thrill.
So what does your sponsor say about this now?
I haven't really been in contact with her.
All right, why don't you take care of your own ass right now?
I feel like I'm...
Alicia?
Yes.
You've got a big monkey on your back yourself. Yeah. Now, you're in with a guy that's an addict as well, but start working on yourself right now, and we're not going to make a decision for you.
How do you know if
you're in deep with an addict?
Wait a minute. I'm going to make decisions for you.
Well,
how do you know the guy is or isn't... Quiet down.
She will definitely find another addict, and her disease will take off if she doesn't do something about it.
Quiet down now. How do you know he's doing crank?
I don't know for sure.
Why do you suspect he's doing crank?
Circles under the eyes, restless. He's also manic depressive, not clinically diagnosed, but he has had problems with anxiety and things like that because he smokes a lot of pot.
What does anxiety have to do with manic depression?
With what?
Manic depression.
I don't know.
Okay. Hey, Alicia. Okay, so here's the deal. Your folks...
I used to do a lot of crank.
All right.
I can't pinpoint it, but
Listen to me. You need to condition yourself to being a mama now. And part of being a good mama is not being with a crappy papa. You know what I'm saying?
I was raised in a household without a father.
Of course you were. And your kid's going to be raising one, too. I mean, that's just...
It's the road you're on.
That's the road you're on. Now, you can do something about it, but you're going to have to do something about it. So, should she go to Al-Anon, too?
Yeah, but first, she is a severe addict.
Severe?
Severe.
Why severe? She's not doing anything.
You said you went to jail?
Yes, one time, which was like...
Was that because you were using when you were pregnant?
No.
Were you using when you were pregnant?
I drank twice when I was pregnant, which I did not know I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I got belligerent, blackout, alcoholic.
Oh.
But I had only...
And she was doing speed, and she does pot.
I've only drank and done drugs when I did them.
Alicia.
Okay, what were you in jail for? The domestic?
Yes, domestic violence.
Which was also under the influence of drugs.
Yes, under the influence.
How much time did you do?
I only did a day, and then I got released, and I got put on probation,
Okay.
which I'm not on anymore.
All right, but so Alicia, you got to get back into your own sobriety a little bit, honey.
This is the whole deal here with her. She's wanting it to be everybody else's problem. Nothing is going to get better until she takes... It is priority one, taking care of her
I'm
sobriety.
at the point where I don't want to have him.
Alicia, listen to me. Take care of your sobriety. Get the fellowship going. Work on the steps with your sponsor. You'll get some clarity about what you need to do with this guy. And it may be just as simple as saying, hey, you have to get sober too, or we can't continue this relationship. But you're in no position to say that.
I've threatened that before.
But you're in no position to say that to him right now. Your sobriety is a disaster. And you've really got to take care of this because your disease is going to take off again soon, and that will be awful for your child.
All right, listen, goofball. Get into your sobriety. Otherwise, I'm going to label you an abusive mother.
Yes, that's right.
Listen, you screwballs that are out there trying to destroy the world one screwed up kid at a time, stop it. Can't you just screw your own life up? Isn't that enough? Did you get enough out of that? You got to come screw everyone else's life up? Is Robert Schimmel here? Hey, Robert. Yeah, come on in, buddy. We're just talking about the world crumbling. No problem at all. That's what kills me. I mean, look at this kid. He's got a mom who's addicted. It comes from a horrible background. He's got a dad who works for
the dad might be the cool parent. He's a pot addict, but okay.
All right, but he may be into the crank too.
But
all right.
It may just be dealing with marijuana depression.
All right, get into recovery. Robert Schimmel's here. Hi, Robert. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Sit on down.
Robert, all right.
How'd the set go? You're at the Brea Improv tonight?
Yeah, it was great.
Do you have headphones, by the way, over there?
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, all right. Put them on and turn them to whatever level seems to work for you. Robert Schimmel, by the way, is a guy. I got past Robert Schimmel's CD. I think it was his second CD, which was a live CD, about, I think it was like 3 years ago. And I listened to it on an airplane on the way to Florida, and I listened to it 10 times and laughed my ass off out loud each and every time. And you know how I hate other people with a sense of humor, Drew. I'd want them all eliminated.
Yes.
Robert, I'd keep. I'd lock him in a basement, and he'd write for me. Just by candlelight, and every once in a while, I'd throw some grub down to him or something to keep his blood sugar up. But I said, this guy's funny, and he came on the show, I guess, when were you here? Do you remember?
About a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little more than that, I think.
Maybe a little more, and I saw you on either, I want to say either Conan or Letterman a couple of weeks back.
Conan.
And you were talking about getting a stand-up comedian of the year.
Yeah.
And I thought, good, because he's funny. So
Thank
we're glad to have you back.
Well, I'm glad to be back.
The name of the newer CD, or the newest CD, is if you buy this CD, I can get this car, and it's a picture of Robert on the hood of a Porsche, basically with a hot chick.
It was supposed to be called, if you buy my CD, I can get this Porsche.
Right.
But then Warner Brothers asked me if I had permission to use Porsche in the title of the CD, and I said, well, the salesman said yes, and they said, not the salesman, who at Porsche?
We're talking about Ferdy Porsche. Dig him up.
So I said, well, not really. And they said, forget it. They said, because we don't want to get sued. And I said, well, wait, it's free advertising. And they said, they don't need your help.
You know what drives me insane about this litigious society we're living in? And
we lose out.
Everybody loses because if you buy this CD, I can buy this Porsche is funnier than if you can buy this CD, I'll get this car.
Yes.
Porsche, in any kind of universe, would not matter that their car was being used as a sort of symbol of prosperity.
Right.
But you know what? Let's not chance it. We can't do it. we're inviting trouble. There's a 1% chance that Porsche is going to sue us, so we're not going to take it. And now we all get a nice watered-down version of art.
Yeah, that's the way it works, because it isn't the same joke. It doesn't mean this, if you say it to somebody on the radio, buy my CD and I can get this Porsche, that's a joke. Buy my CD and I can get this car, then I would think, what car?
You could be on Columbo's car.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know.
For all we know.
I've learned from you that the more specific, the more funny.
That's what I always say. That's why I got in a 45-minute argument with the people of Comedy Central just last week over the difference between underwear and underpants. I should tape those things. That'd be the funniest show.
You should.
So, Robert, you got this CD out. You're touring. You when you were here last, I think you just had another child.
Thank you.
I believe, or someone was pregnant. I know you lost a child.
Yeah.
And you have, but you have.
I have an 8-year-old daughter, and now I have a son that just turned 18 weeks old.
18 weeks old.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
maybe.
new.
Yeah, but maybe your wife had just gotten pregnant?
Yeah.
Or maybe I just knew you were going to have sex with her at some point and possibly knock her up.
Knew.
How old was your son when he passed away?
11. That was 6 years ago.
Wow. Jeez, you're not that old, though, are you? You start when you were young?
Young.
You had medulloblastoma? Is that
Yes.
Yeah, I remember this now.
Holy cow.
Well, who are you talking
I was
to?
going to sell a lot of tickets for the club. So, Cancer Talk's really going to pack them in.
Now I know why I blocked it out.
Drew has a 6-year-old. That's
really?
Yeah, 3 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
Wow. So my 8-year-old actually wanted to watch the birth of my my son, and I talked to her teacher, and I said, how do I know if it's cool for her to be in there to watch the childbirth? And she said, you got to ask her what she knows about the facts of life.
Yeah.
And it's so weird how much they know. It's a weird world. That because when I was her age, my parents actually sold me that stork story, about how the mother and father love each other and they wish for the baby, and then the stork comes, and I just never figured out how the stork knew when my dad did it with my mom, unless the Easter Bunny told him. But anyway, but now you have my daughter who says, well, the mother has an egg inside of her, and the father has a sperm inside of him, and the sperm meets the egg, and that's how she gets pregnant. But then she wants to have her picture taken with Santa. Right. So she knows that stuff, but she still wants...
Well, it's interesting. If you try... These notions of sperm and eggs are like very simplistic abstractions for them. The whole issue of sexuality doesn't sort of enter into it very much.
Now,
they probably have an issue of a chicken egg and who knows what the sperm is to them.
Well, I rented The Miracle of Life for her to watch, and because they said it's totally safe for children to watch. It was on PBS.
Right.
It's a cartoon of an egg coming down the fallopian tube, and then they said then the sperm meets the egg, and he's really like, hey, how you doing? That kind of thing.
Voice of the Sperm by George Carlin.
And then they show real adults.
Crothers is the egg.
And they're doing this kind of dance behind a curtain, and I'm going, oh no, I'm ready to turn the deck off. And then it cuts to a CAT scan of some animal doing it. You can't tell really what it is.
Right.
I barely knew what it was. And then it shows the fetus growing and everything's really cool. And at the end, when they show the childbirth, the head started showing a little bit, and my little girl said, that's not her belly button.
Oh, that's right.
I said, what?
Their concept is it comes out of the belly button.
And she said, I thought the baby came out of the belly button.
Yeah.
So I said, it does. This lady pushed too hard.
If they go C-section, it just about does.
Right, and see, since we had C-section, my kids are totally into that notion that belly button's where it came from.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
When you're, I don't know why I got to bring this up, but I never really thought about this before, but there's some sort of bizarre, unnatural attraction you have to the belly button as a kid. It's a big deal. I think it has, because it has the word belly and the word button in it, and you're pushing it, and you're blowing on it, and there's some source of endless fascination.
You did what?
You're doing that.
To whose?
Your dad's doing that thing on your belly where he has oh, shut up. Shut Drew's mic off. Robert, did your dad fart on your belly button? The point is the belly button is like a big deal when you're a kid.
Yeah. I do it with my son.
Life sort of revolves around the belly button. You're tickling, and there's all that kind of stuff. And then as you get older, it's like, hey, screw the belly button. I don't know why I was so enamored with it, but you sort of forget about it as you get older. But when you're a kid...
There probably, I bet you, there's some neurologic development that things sort of move into a different direction with the as things develop.
You just have a real heavy bond with the belly button.
Well, imagine where you were 3 or 4 years before that with it.
You were eating off it.
Yeah.
And so it must serve some purpose other than just collecting sweat and lint.
Yes.
And I think that's why kids are so into it.
Different kinds of Eastern religions and things have always figured out some sort of organizing properties to it. You know, it's a seed of various kinds of feelings.
But Robert, when somebody says, I don't have any kids, but I've spoken about this before, that whole, like, I want to videotape it, I want the in-laws there, I'm going to invite
my mom was in there.
like my high school gym coach to be there and stuff. That whole thing to me feels sort of intrusive, a little bizarre, and I wonder, are they on the business end of the vagina? Or are they sort of behind saying, like, push?
I have a friend that showed me a video of his daughter being born, and there it was. I mean, he zoomed right in, and I could never look at her in the face after that. I mean, it's just... And I
would like some study on what that does to kids. God did not intend that.
I don't think so. You know, my mom was in there because it happened so fast. My wife actually delivered like 22 minutes after we got to the hospital, so... My parents came because there was an RSV virus, and I had my 8-year-old with us, and so she couldn't be in the... She had to get out of the hospital. She couldn't be in there.
There was RSV in the hospital, or one of your kids had it?
No, they wouldn't let kids in because of RSV.
Yeah.
What is RSV?
Respiratory syncytial virus.
So she couldn't be in there, but they had to let her in because they didn't know when to watch her. And my father took her to the cafeteria, and my mom was in there, and all of a sudden when they said it's time... My mom said, I'd love to watch this. And my wife said, you can stay if you want. And she said, get this, watch my grandchild being born would be really great. And she said, I'll just stand back here. I'll be totally out of the way and everything. And, you know, we said, okay. And then, bam, she's got a video camera out, right? Without even telling us. And she said, Doctor, could you just move over just a little bit? And I said, Mom, please don't do it, you know. She goes, okay. Then pulls out like in a little Olympus 35 millimeter. She said, it's black and white. Don't worry, you know, you won't see the... I said, I don't want any pictures.
But
I got nobody to show them to. I don't want to do it.
She turned the fan on and said, have fun with it. And
I'll tell you what's really weird is they come in 2 days later and ask about the circumcision. And they make you make this decision, you know, and they're saying, you know, there's a big controversy now on whether you should do it or not.
Is this the doctors asking you,
and they said some people, you know, say you shouldn't, and some people you should or you shouldn't. And they said, so, you know, what do you want to do? And I told my wife, you know, it's up to you, really, you know. And she said, we should, because I don't like the way they look when they're not. And all I'm thinking is, they? How many have you seen? You could be like an authority on it. No. And then she made me go in there.
Oh, that's tough.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. So here's what happens. We were going to do it. We were going to have a bris, like the regular thing, but our neighbors had one, and the kid didn't stop bleeding after they rushed him to the hospital, so that scared my wife.
Oh, my God.
So we were going to have the doctor do it. Well, then she doesn't want to be in there because she doesn't want him to connect the pain to her or her face or anything.
Right.
So she goes, you go in there with him. Well, they have like an outline of a kid cut out like in this foam.
Right.
And they lay him in there, and they Velcro the arms and legs down. And they bring out smelling salts. And I said, oh, my God, could he pass out from this? They said,
you.
That's for you.
Yeah.
Drew, thanks for stepping on the joke, though, by the way.
It's not a joke.
for real.
It's for real. And he was screaming like you've never heard. I mean, it is really scary to see.
Yeah.
They didn't
I
give
felt really
they give
bad.
anesthesia now.
No.
No, they do, though, now.
You're,
that's the new thing.
You're lucky.
Well, not 18 weeks ago they did.
But that's what they're supposed to be getting.
You're lucky at 2 months they don't know the F word yet, because then that would be sailing out of the room.
Then you have to like they put a lot of Vaseline on it. It takes a lot of taking care of for a couple of weeks, and he just screams and jumps when you touch it, and
yeah, my kids didn't see that.
Sort of like when I try to get my wife to touch it, but
and the Vaseline. All right, let's tackle some of these calls. Although I do want to say that when Howie Mandel was on this show and spoke of his child's circumcision, he said he did it at home. He didn't have a neighbor who almost bled to death, apparently. He buried, as some sort of tradition would have it, maybe it's just Mandel tradition, he buried the foreskin, or what was left of it, in the backyard, and he said his dog dug it up and ate it.
Wow.
And I found that to be amusing. Jen?
Yes.
You're 19.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Well, okay, like I was telling the lady that answered the phone, okay, I'm bi.
You're bi.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like my, really good friend's best friend. A lot. Okay? And last night, we had foursome.
A foursome?
Foursome. It was 3 chicks and a guy.
Oh.
And that was very, very fun and
twosome.
exciting.
Yeah.
Very what?
Okay.
Very fun and exciting.
Yeah.
If you like threesome, try foursome. It's better.
Yeah, listen, I'm going for a twosome. Drew, you know, my
Adam is sort of
threesome, and for me in high school was I whacked off two of my buddies watched.
Yeah, but Adam is really enamored with the one-some.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one-some is sort of your thing, isn't it?
Well, you aim low, you're never disappointed.
None-some, I guess, is where you were for a long while.
So you had there was three girls and one guy.
So
and did you all have sex with the guy?
Kind of not me. I didn't really want to have sex with a guy.
All right, what's the question?
Okay. My heart is palpitating. Okay, sorry. I really, like I said, I really, really, really like her. Okay?
This girl you had sex with?
Yeah. I went a little overboard.
What does that mean?
Like, I went out of control. I mean, I was just going crazy.
Sexually with her? With her during the foursome?
Yes.
What does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
Okay, I took over. In other words, like, I was like, with her, like, we went somewhere else, and.
Well, were you raping her? I mean, she was a willing participant of this, right? So why do you see it as something that you aggressively?
Well, she was monopolizing her.
Yeah, but the one who went with her seemed to want to participate, right?
Right.
All right.
And I was like, I didn't even say, am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? What do I do? And, like, I don't know if she hates me now or if she's still, like, if she...
Yeah, you may have offended her sensibilities.
Let's bring her in now.
Yeah, you may have come on a little strong when, let me tell you something about etiquette. When she has, like, 4 mouths on her each tit and guys nailing her from behind and then you drag her way into the hall, that's a faux pas.
Drew, actually, there was no guy on her.
Wait, that was Adam.
Okay, so okay, listen, Chen, we got to take a break. I gotta towel off, but we're gonna come back. We're gonna get into this. I want to know how this works.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
I want to get to the bottom of this. It drives me insane to hear about what's going on today.
Me too. Better 3 girls and 1 guy than 3 guys and 1 girl, because I wouldn't want to be like an air traffic controller, and I want to know where the other 2 guys are the whole time.
Right. You have them like circling the waterbed. Are you running low on sperm? Okay, we'll bring it down. How's visibility?
Just had to maintain 2-0.
269er. Okay, we'll take a little break. Robert Schimmel's here. We'll be back. We'll get to the bottom of Jen and her foursome after this. That is Robert Schimmel off of If You Buy This CD, I Can Get This Porsche. Although it does say car, but he is on the hood of looked like a Porsche Boxster.
It is. I didn't even get to drive it. First I was there at the set. They shot it in Santa Monica, and I'm talking to the photographer, and all of a sudden I hear, room, 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 and here comes this car, and he goes, isn't that something that you would have an idea, like that's what you want on your album, buy my CD and I can get this car, and there's the car right there, that they made it come true. And then I said, can I take it for a drive? And they said, what are you kidding? They said, this
$55,000
car.
car.
They said, no. They go, just, sit here, let her get in, click, 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 see ya. Boom. And the guy, they rented it from budget.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could budget. Rents Porsches.
Wow. And, I know. It's like in case, I see this all the time. You could rent a Testarossa, you could rent a Humvee, you can rent a Porsche. It's like if there's some sort of pimp convention or something in town and they don't want a Taurus, you can rent a Dodge Viper. And I don't even know how much it is, but it seems weird. It seems weird to rent like $150,000 cars.
My dad saw the album cover and he said, why would you pick a German car? My parents are Holocaust survivors and they go on a Porsche. You pick a Porsche.
Yeah.
So
when the Jews start making cars, you get one
I know,
of
but
those.
you know what's so weird about it? I went to Israel to visit, and all the cabs there are Mercedes, so I don't see what the big deal is.
How interesting.
It is, they are. So, and it's so weird, because my ex-manager used to have a Jaguar, and it used to break down all the time, and every time I'd meet him for lunch or somewhere, he'd be driving some loaner car, and he'd say, yeah, the Jag's in the shop. And I said, why don't you get a Mercedes or a BMW? And, you're making that kind of money. And he said, I would never drive a German car after what happened in World War II. And then I see him like a couple of months ago, and he has the big Mercedes, the one with the V12 engine.
Right.
People don't believe that's a German car, I guess.
And I said, I thought you said you'd never own a German car after what happened during the war. He said, Bob, have you ever driven one of these? And that's all it took.
These were made by the good Nazis, by the way.
That's right. My parents won't even own a Krupp's coffee maker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
they were actually in the Holocaust?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you imagine.
And it's a real bitch because it's too bad the Mexicans or the Koreans didn't come up with this Holocaust notion, because the Germans make all the good junk. I mean, they just do. I was standing. We're doing a film shoot on something, and they have this beautiful all aluminum mechanical. It's one of those camera dollies.
Oh yeah.
It has like a seat in it and a handbrake and a horn on it. It's all this beautiful lathed, high tensile strength alloy and everything. And I looked at the thing. I said, "How much does one of those things cost?" It's like $90,000. The guy said. He said, you know where it's from? I said, Germany. He said, yeah, how'd you know? Because it works. It looks good. It works in Mexico? Are you kidding? Mexico is like a drunk chihuahua. They just strap a duct tape something to it and let it drag it around.
I went to Mexico, and they had, it's so weird. I went to Puerto Vallarta with my family for a week, and there are drugstores there that advertise that they have the Viagra and the date rape drug, whatever.
Rohypnol, really?
Yeah.
Rohypnol.
It says, yes, we have Rohypnol on the window.
Oh, my God.
It's like, what?
Right. There's a
yes, we have no Rohypnol.
And they have Xanax and all phony stuff that's, I don't know.
No, it's free. Oh, yes.
Great.
It's the same stuff you can buy here for a lot less money.
It's fantastic.
And I don't think I'm advocating people go down there and get it, but that's where we have a problem sometimes. That's what gets shuttled up here.
Really?
It's
Pharmaceuticals. It's like Disneyland for drunk adults. Jen?
Yes.
You're 19.
Yes.
What's going on?
All right. Like I was saying before.
You know, she had the foursome.
Oh, the foursome.
That's
right.
Foursome.
How could I forget?
Fun and exciting fun.
You're bi, but we think you're really lesbian because you're really into this girl.
I am not a lesbian.
You're not a lesbian. You just eat a little crotch every once in a while,
So?
just to kind of keep it real.
It's fun.
Well,
Hey. Well, you're a guy. You should know that.
no. Listen, I only do that as sort of payback, as a sort of thank you for the favor. I'm not into it. Jen, you're into it, and you love this woman.
I do.
Okay.
And I also like her friend, too.
And you didn't have sex with the one guy who was in the room. I'm saying all roads lead to Lesbonia.
No, not even close.
Oh, okay, hold on. Not even close.
Yeah.
There's three women. You drag one into another room. You have savage sex with her. You're the only one who doesn't have sex with the guy who's in the room having sex with everybody, but you're nowhere near a lesbian.
But no, not even close. But let me say one thing.
Wait.
Not even close.
I'm not. The guy that we were with is like my best friend's like...
All right, so all right, let's take her at her word.
Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Give me a break, okay?
Okay, yeah, I don't want to,
Plus, I got punched in the mouth by him, and I lost a tooth. So
Well, you drag one of his dates out of the room and he's going to get violent.
he hates her.
Okay.
That's the sad thing.
When did he punch you in the mouth?
Yeah, well, I don't care.
Think about your relationships, Jen. You're with people who hate each
Before
other,
the
who are
foursome?
aggressive and violent, and then you have sex with them? Come on.
When did he take a swing at you?
After?
After the foursome.
Yes.
Geez, you think he'd be in a good mood.
I have a
really.
question. I just got off the phone with her, okay? And I guess she's listening to me. And I asked her, I wanted to ask you if she's going to, be my friend, or if she, I tried to ask her even. I said, are we still friends or what? And, this morning when we woke up, excuse me, I was laying on her chest, and I didn't realize that. And I woke up, and I had a smile on my face, and I was like, oh, that was fun last night, And then she just started looking at me really, really, really funny, and I was like, what the hell did I
Hey,
do?
Jen, hold on for a second.
Okay.
Does she like you or does she not like you?
She does.
She does?
Yeah.
So why don't you attempt to have a relationship with her?
I want to, but I'm embarrassed. I'm shy. I'm a shy person.
Yeah.
I'm a really shy person.
Well, I don't think it's shy as much as it's just old-fashioned.
Oh, I know that. I mean, I've had a lot of boyfriends, and I've had, three or four girlfriends.
Yeah. I mean, five-some, six-some, not for you. You know what I mean? Foursome. Like I say, call her old-fashioned. That's where she draws the line.
Right.
I know, and I
Hey, Jen, why don't we give her a call and get to the bottom of this? You say she's home now, right?
now she's at work, and I have no clue what the work number is.
Well, she just called you,
Yeah, she called me from work.
and you don't have that number.
I don't.
Do you know where she works?
Wait, do you have a call waiting or something on your phone?
I don't. I wish I did.
How did she call you while you were on the phone with us?
We have another phone line in the house.
Okay.
Wait. Jen's sex partner, call her right now on the other line.
Okay.
And give her your phone number, and then, Jen, you'll give that to us, and we'll hook you guys up.
Okay.
In the meantime, we'll put you on hold because she's listening now.
Yes.
And,
Hold on. This really is sad.
All right, hold on there, Jen.
Because we got
Jenna screwball.
yeah, Jen's got a lot of issues, and who knows what is going on with that girl? Who knows what's up with her? I mean, she just got involved with a bizarre sexual
What's up
thing.
with the guy who takes a swing at the girl after the foursome?
Not health.
And let me get back to etiquette one more time. After the foursome, that's we're going to Pizza Hut and I'm buying. That's not take a swing
I don't know
at
if
one
I'd
of the
be
gals.
awake after a foursome. Didn't have energy to punch somebody in the face.
I think you'd have just enough energy to do like one victory lap around the apartment where you sort of high-fived everybody on the way around and then crashed onto the
I don't know.
waterbed.
That still sounds a little circumstantial about the only being with the girls.
Yeah, she's
nowhere
near a lesbian.
I mean, if I told my wife that I was in a foursome on the road and it was 3 guys and I only did stuff with them but not the girl that was there, I don't think that she would say, well...
Yeah, she would label you as at least bi or bi with a brain tumor.
Half mo.
We are going to take a little break. Robert Schimmel's here. Half mo is short for homo.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Well, it's half. In this case, it really be half mo.
Yeah, it's not homosexual.
Yeah.
She's a half-mosexual. We will get to the bottom of Jen and her wild weekend and possibly her crazy sex partner all after this.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
How about your mom on the internet? That's a wild concept by itself.
Robert Schimmel is our guest tonight. If you buy the CD, I can get this 1998 maroon Porsche Boxster. And this chick named Tammy.
I thought it was funny because what artist would ever tell their fans, here's what I'm going to do with the money I make from the CDs that you buy?
And it's good and it's funny, and when you do a comedy CD, you're sort of compelled to come up with something a little bit clever. Otherwise, it's like, well, wait a minute, how funny is this guy going to be when he couldn't even pull it together for the title of the CD?
That's what they said, because I said, how about just Robert Schimmel live? And they said, yeah, nah, that's not good. That's not funny.
Yeah, they'd have to know you or trust you or something like that, or have had another one of your CDs.
Yeah, because it's hard enough. Who goes to a record store and goes to the comedy section and say, let's see what new comedy CDs came out? I mean, it's hard. It really is hard.
But it really is a great form of entertainment, and it's not really one that people are sort of compelled to listen to. But somebody gave me Robert's CD, the one that came out before this, and it was floating around my briefcase for a month, and I'd only listened to it because I was getting on an airplane, and I was sort of captive, and there wasn't anything I could do, and I laughed my ass off, and I was really glad I did it. It's just I wouldn't have done it, wouldn't have gone out and sought it. But is that right? Did I say that right?
Do young people listen to a lot of comedy tapes?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're starting to.
When I was a kid, I did.
Yeah, so did I. I used to listen to everybody, and I had all the Carlin stuff, and Pryor and Bob Newhart, and Shelley Berman, and Jackie Vernon, and all those people. And all of a sudden, it stopped for a long time. There was no new comedy CDs. Now they're all coming back. They're re-releasing all the old ones.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I always listened to Carlin, like Toledo Window Box and all those old ones, and it always laughed my ass off. Like, you're a little bit easier when you're 12 than you are now, because you're not bitter. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Demento was always a good one when I was a kid, too.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah?
You're 21.
Yep.
What's going on with you?
I have a drug question.
All righty.
Last Thursday, tell me if my story's too long. Okay.
Hey, just added 15 seconds to it.
Okay, I have a drug question. Okay, last Thursday, my boyfriend, he dropped 2 X-tabs, which made him throw up. So he decided to eat shrooms. And then he bad tripped really badly, and he started getting really paranoid and feeling really rejected from everyone that was there. And ever since then, he hasn't been the same. And he keeps telling me he lost his mind, and he cries really easily. He's really depressed. He talks about dying a lot.
Okay, you've got to get him to a doctor, Sarah. This is really important.
What is it?
This is the one thing X can do to people. I mean,
Wait, he threw the X up.
No, he got it.
He did?
Yeah, he got it.
He got what?
Plenty of X in him.
What about the mushrooms?
Mushrooms doesn't typically do this kind of thing, but this kind of persistent, detached, little bit psychotic state with extreme mood problems. This is hallucinogenics. This is ecstasy, strong hallucinogenics, LSD, ecstasy.
He's not going to get better on his own?
potentially not for a long time. It's something called a post-hallucinogenic perceptual disorder, where people get kind of locked in and they can get profoundly depressed and they can be at risk of suicide. And it is the biological injury caused by these drugs, and it is important that he get seen by somebody.
Was he kind of screwy before this, though? He had to be.
He was fine before this.
Well, except for the part about him throwing up the axe and then going for the mushrooms. Other than
He had
that.
like a really stressful day that day.
Oh, he had a tough
He was
day?
determined to be high.
Yeah, I know how it is. You get your midterms back, you only got to see. Parking tickets, you go right for the mushrooms.
I just said it.
This is his first time shrooming. though.
Boss probably chewed him out or something. Start going for the mushrooms.
It is, Sarah. It is really. This is serious
Life's
stuff.
tough. I got to hallucinate.
And then, please, anyone else listening, just this is just stuff I see all the time. These drugs damage people's brains.
All right.
It's just awful.
I've done mushrooms a couple of times, and it is just too weird.
Yeah.
I mean, part of, and Drew and I have talked about this a few times, is the way you survive in life is you don't think too much about any one thing because your head would explode.
You screen out the white noise.
Yeah.
You
That's
do.
that's how your brain works.
I mean, it's like, hey, the tragedy in Colorado, very sad, didn't happen to me, I'm moving on. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't wish it upon anybody, but if I fixate on it, or if I fixate on all the microbes that's on the crap that I'm eating, I'll go insane. And the thing about mushrooms is you're wide open. You become Howard Hughes all of a sudden. I got high on mushrooms. I watched about 4 in the morning, high out of my mind. I'm watching a Lee press-on nail commercial and going insane. The women take plastic shiny red things and they stick them to the end of their fingers so that the males are more attracted to them. What a bizarre species that is. And no one says anything about it, by the way. And I just started going insane. So I said, this enough. Then I did it next day.
Well, I'm very lucky. I had a bad experience with drugs, and so never wanted to after that.
I've said this forever. I'm delighted when people have a bad trip. God bless the bad trip, because that's it. You stop then.
Yeah.
And those aren't the people that get severe injuries, although we just heard one where it happened. It's rather unusual. The bad injuries are from people that like it a lot and keep dropping acid or keep doing ecstasy.
Right.
Yeah, I had that. When I was in high school, somebody put acid in everybody's food and drinks for a high school graduation prank, and I had never smoked pot or any of that stuff, so I had no idea what was going on. I'm talking to a friend of mine, and all of a sudden he started turning into something that I imagine we looked like when we evolved out of water into like an amphibian. And I wanted to go to the hospital, and they freaked out. They didn't want to take me because they thought they were going to get in trouble. So they locked me in a walk-in closet for a few hours. So that way,
Sure that did. And just blew pot smoke in through the
No,
the
but
door.
I remember seeing the light come in the shape of the keyhole.
Yeah, you mean keep continuing that shape?
And then I'd hear the light hit the floor, and then when somebody would walk by, it would be total darkness, and then all of a sudden,
It is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely not. That was enough for me.
I was watching a bee buzzing around in the air, and I was seeing.
All right,
I was seeing the ripples come off it, like it was in a pond, like it was in water. You know
That
what
was
I mean?
bad. I'm telling you, and I didn't like it at all.
Good.
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
All right.
Jen, your girlfriend.
Your girlfriend. It says here that Jen's girlfriend just got off work at the Titty Bar. Where I'm sure she was DJing, not dancing, and is very upset and crying. Won't go on the air. Doesn't want Jen on
the air either.
Right, but I'm talking to her and everything's being all right.
Okay, but Jen, listen to me, sweetheart. We don't have much time left with you, but you got some serious issues.
I know.
Serious, and it's not just about your sexuality. Somebody did something to you. Something happened to you. God knows where your dad is or what he did before he left, but it was something.
Who, my father?
Yeah.
My father passed away just a couple weeks ago.
Well, what happened? Something's up.
What did he do when you were young?
When I was young?
Yeah.
My parents, we come from a very good home.
No. I want you to sue the whoever manages the water.
The water supply, yeah.
The water supply in your district then. Something's up. Something happened to you.
And your girlfriend works at a nude bar?
Yeah.
Listen, Jen, seriously, 15 seconds. What happened? Molested?
No.
Neighbor? What happened?
With who?
You tell us.
Who did what to you?
Who did what to me?
Yes.
This guy. My friends,
When you were 5. When you were 5.
When I was
or
5.
4, yeah.
When I was 5, nothing happened.
4.
I mean, I've been in a good home.
When did you lose your virginity?
When I was 15 and a half.
You never did any funny experimentation with peers when you were 4 or 5 years old?
I sure didn't.
No neighbor kids?
Nope.
No brothers? You have brothers?
Yuck. God, no.
No, I'm not into it either, but nothing happened to you.
No.
It's not working. We don't have enough time to get to it, Jen, but you know what we're talking about, right?
Right.
I mean, you're not right. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get a little therapy and work a few things out, but stop just acting
let's
out.
stay in the present here. Did you settle your relationship with your girlfriend?
Yes, I did.
Does
Actually, we're talking.
And she understands you want to be in a relationship?
We're just going to take things slow.
What was her issue? Why was she so upset the morning after?
Because she wasn't ready. She was like, I was going too fast for her.
All right, well, she's free.
Well, you're not a lesbian, so what's she worried about?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
She was just worried because I might have hurt her or I was going too fast. And I said, I understand. And she said that she definitely wants to be friends and she just wants to take things nice and slow.
All right. What'd your dad die of?
He died of cancer.
He wasn't an alcoholic?
No cirrhosis?
Nope.
No alcoholism?
No, he never did drugs, alcohol. He's never smoked a cigarette.
What about your mom?
My mom, she's straight edge. My mom's never smoked a cigarette.
Straight edge, like
no one ever hit you?
Nope.
Really?
Really. I come
right.
from a wonderful home.
All right, then you either have to sue whoever manufactured the carpets in your home or whoever supplied the water to it.
Plastered carpets. I'm not.
Something happened to Jen. There's something
missing.
We could get to it if we had some time, but nobody acts like Jen without some serious
history.
There you go. Speaking of, well, let's not speak about history. Let's speak about the future, mainly Robert Schimmel's future. Thursday, what day is that? Tomorrow. Tomorrow through Sunday, he'll be at the Brea Improv, and then Tuesday the 8th through the 12th, he'll be at the Punchline in San Francisco. Oh, that's nice. San Francisco's such a nice town. It's no Brea, but it's a nice town anyway. Monday, June 14th, one show only. It's a special event for our kids, which is a nonprofit full-service center dedicated to helping families heal after a loss, which Robert knows about firsthand. He'll be in... and
there wasn't anybody. Yeah, it'll be at the Improv on the 14th.
In Tempe.
When my son passed away, here's what they did. They gave my wife and I 100 Halcyons, 100 Xanaxes, 100 Ativans, 100 something else, and they said, just don't take the same thing 2 days in a row, and, you won't get hooked.
Don't take it all in one day.
And because there was nobody that could talk to you about anything. I mean, the doctors, his pediatric oncologist couldn't say anything, and I just felt like they just wanted you to be drugged up so they didn't have to deal with it.
Right.
And it's a big problem for, I mean, I meet a lot of people, and unfortunately, I've been to one or two of these things where you go to someone's house and they have a bunch of couples that have lost children.
Yeah.
And the problem with that, for me, is that some people reinforce what I think is negative behavior in these meetings, because there is no, like, one person that's in charge.
No facilitator, no professional.
Yeah, there's nobody, like, making it go in a certain direction, and you have somebody say, oh, yeah, we still buy him birthday presents even though he's been dead for 3 years, and we leave him on the bed, and, and then the next thing you know, your spouse is saying, see, they do it, and it's like, that doesn't mean it's right, because they're doing it. And you get 4 people in a room that do that, and then you feel like you're odd because you're not doing it.
Right. Yeah,
and I think people grieve in different ways, and it's definitely a big difference, I think, between the mother and the father. It's not the same thing.
No, different brains, different chemistry.
Totally different.
The women's brain is smaller, I think Drew was saying.
It's a lot bigger.
No, I could not...
It's in her cranium.
I could not... Your son passed away at 11, you said?
Yeah, and he was diagnosed at 3 years old, and they gave him 6 months to live, and he fought and lasted 8 years instead of 6 months.
God.
Wow.
And it was on and off constantly where they would say he's not going to make it through the night, and then it would be another 6-7 months.
He was diagnosed when he was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine that kind of loss. That's why, frankly, that's why I'm scared to have kids.
I know you are.
That and they eat a lot. But I'll tell you, I know. I couldn't imagine.
I share that with you.
Okay, we have to take a break. As far as the drugs they gave you, do you still have those? Or did you eat them or did you give them away? Or?
I don't know if you'd want them now. They're 6 years old.
I'd take those. Right, Drew?
I know you would.
Okay. I think a beer will reactivate them, right? All right, we'll be back.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
I love 1 KFMA.
All right, that is about it, except for to tell everyone to go out and get Robert Schimmel's CD. It is called If You Buy the CD, I Can Afford This Car, or something like that. Isn't that right, Drew?
Yeah.
I'm not holding the wrong one, but I can get this car. Thank you, Robert.
Oh, thank you.
Always have a good time with you because not only are you a good comedian, you're a good guy and you can talk. Some comedians have difficulty with that.
Well, I don't like to come on and like do shtick on the, you know.
That's right.
Everything can't be like that, and you guys aren't like that anyway. I mean, I listen to you, a lot, even on the road, because you're all over the place, and some DJs want to